Yeah, what's going on, family? It's your man B Miles coming to you live once again on another live stream. It's definitely gonna be lit tonight. It's definitely gonna be lit. All right, I gotta give me a second. We're just setting things up. Yep, just setting everything up. All right, baby girl. All right, I see you right there, Mr. Kevin. I see you right there.
Peace, King.
All right, peace to you too, brother. Good to see you.
Yes, sir. Good to be
All right,
seen.
just give me 1 second. I'm glad you got the link. I'm actually glad that you can come on tonight, and it's definitely going to be very informative. It's definitely going to be some exciting information. I definitely cannot wait, for more people to come in. And actually gave the link to Shelby as well. Just trying to see if she got the link.
Cool.
Yeah, plus we're just waiting on to see, who's going to come up in here right now as well.
Where you
All right.
streaming it to? Where you streaming it to?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, where are you streaming it to?
Let me try. Okay. All right, okay, great. She said she's gonna let us talk. And I just wanna see, about the guests who's just ready to see about, the guests coming. Just wanna see who else is going to be coming in. All right. Yes, I'm just I'm waiting to see viewers start coming in right now. We started at a really great time. And I definitely think it's a great time to really put out this information, especially to what we are bringing. Hey, there we go. Now I'm starting to see people. There we go. Now I'm starting to see people. There we go. Hey, Clarissa. Hey, Dre, working. Hey, Tamara Butler. Hey, Gerald Garrett. Hey, LaShawn Heyman, TJ, Kamala Thomas, Camp Powhatan, No Reliable, LT with Facts, Malika Brown, LaShonda W, Jamel Bowser, Willie Rivers, Valencia Jean. Good to see everybody tonight. And I definitely will say it's going to be live and lit tonight, family, because what we're going to be talking about is everything is going to be lining up to what we're going to be talking about, especially with our guests here tonight. And it's definitely going to be some very great and very informative information. And I definitely will say, brother, would you like me to give you introduction first, or would you like me to go in first and then give an introduction?
It's up to you, King. However you want to flow. However you want to go.
All right. Okay. Great. Wonderful. Okay. Great. Wonderful. So what we're going to do is, though, right now, when I'm actually going to start off with tonight, I'm actually going to start off talking about, what we're in right about now, as far as the global currency reset and pretty much what is going on, what is taking place right about now. Drop a couple of jewels about dealing with Nesara and why it's important that we must, be aware about dealing with the situation, dealing with the currency, how the currency is changing. And like I said, without further ado, I actually want to go into it. And what he's going to do, he's going to tie in, pretty much tie into what I'm saying as well. So I'm actually going to start off by reading about the global currency reset, right? They said the global currency reset last happened when nations gathered together to agreed upon on a global currency system was in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. While World War II was going on, leaders from other nations around the world decided on a new global currency system. This led to the formation of the global organizations like the International Monetary Fund and GATT, which later became the World Trade Organization. The world's allied nations agreed on a fixed currency rate, which was sort of based on a global gold standard. The US dollar was the currency that nations used to back their currency under this agreement. The reason was for this because the United States was in possession of most of the world's gold supply at that time. America benefited greatly from this new currency system, and the dollar made its way into central banks around the world. They said in time we left the fixed rate system. Richard Nixon stopped backing U.S. dollars with gold globally in 1971. This was known as the Nixon shock. Today, all major currencies float on the global market. While some things have changed, we are still on the remnants of the Bretton Woods system. Many central banks still have the dollar in their reserves, and it remains in high demand today. After the 2008 global meltdown, many have speculated that we are going to return to another gold standard. Some believe that some believe that there will be another monetary system altogether. Some believe I'm sorry, let me slow down. They said many armchair economists have emerged to claim that some nations may even base their currency values on their resources. Something happened with the chat. Can y'all hear me? Greatness, everyone, and we apologize for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, it just knocked me out real quick. I apologize. And they also saying the claim is that all currencies will revalue based on the country's assets. This will cause gold to skyrocket as people begin to seek a hedge of protection of depleting currency values. And we already know right about now that the dollar bill is pretty much fading out right now. And we're seeing how the currency is changing. And we are also seeing how, even also when it deals with Nesara, when I was actually reading dealing with Nesara, a little bit about it in part one. I'm only just going to read just a little bit about what they talk about dealing with it, because they saying they're going to create a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals. Ended the bankruptcy of the United States initiated by Franklin D. Roosevelt. Sorry, apologize for that. They keep knocking me out. And like I said, we are seeing how the currency is changing. We are seeing how they're talking about a cashless society now. We are seeing how, the current, we pretty much seeing like how a lot of the banks, they're closing down, they shutting down. We hear them talking about cryptocurrency. We hear them talking about gold and silver and platinum precious metals. We are seeing how the old currency is fading out, and we are seeing how the old standard, and that is actually dealing with the gold standards of what we are dealing with right about now. So, without further ado, if you would like to expand upon it, brother, and yes, apologize.
No need.
Apologize for that. They keep knocking me out.
It's no need to apologize,
They
King.
keep knocking me.
The thing is, it's the interferes of magic, and they always going to try to jump in when they can to try to break, this technology or the information, the frequency by which we put out information. We just got to be tolerant. You know what I mean? We got to, and I hope that your viewing audience understands that this is the time, it's critical times, and that this information that we are trying to pass on to conscious minded individuals allows you to just have a little bit of patience to be able to get the coding, to get the information, and so we got to be very quick. We got to be, we got to be fast moving and quick thinking right up into the modern day of time. So, I hope that the way that this information comes off tonight, that it falls on some very, very fertile ears, of your listening audience, because we don't have a lot of time. We got to really, really get to moving very, very quickly.
That's right, brother. So you can definitely introduce yourself to the audience and pretty much tell them what you've been like doing for like the last couple of years, what you've been involved into, and pretty much we'll be talking about dealing with the global currency reset and dealing with the currency change. You can pretty much introduce yourself and let them know the solution that we pretty much going to be talking about and bring it to them.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I'm so grateful and I'm humbled to be on this platform with you and your distinguished guests that's listening in. My name is Kevin 2X Thompson, and I'm born and raised out of the Washington, D.C. area. I actually represent an organization I'm the founder of, which is called Team Freedom. Okay. Freedom is an acronym, and it stands for Finding Real Educated Entrepreneurs to Help Develop Others to a Millionaire Mentality. And what we are doing with that organization is we're looking for some real individuals, people who are very open-minded, people who are conscious-minded to what's going on right now within our state of economy. The financial state of economy that we're sitting in right now is right now we're at war. And what I mean by that is that we have been given a system that was not for us. We have been given a information that has had us wrapped around a process for the last 100 years that is failing us right now. And I want to just kind of go back into a little bit of history lesson about what I'm referring to, just a little bit about what the brother read just a few minutes ago when we talking about the monetary system. Back in the late 1800s, there was a group of wealthy gentlemen, and as a matter of fact, they at that time said that they represented 1/3 of the entire world's wealth. They met on an island called Jekyll in Georgia, the island of Jekyll. And when they met on that island, they disposed of a plan and a plot to come up with what we now know today is the Federal Reserve Bank. Most people don't even know that that's not even a federal entity. But through that institution, they enacted the ability to print what was called currency, not money, currency. See, there's a difference in and we weren't educated on what that is. Okay. And so we weren't educated on what the difference of currency versus money was. And for the sake of time, I don't want to go all into the depths of it, because anybody that wants to understand that history, you can go back and read a book. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island, and it'll bring you up to speed on all of the conversation that I'm referring to. But with that, back in early 1900s, the Federal Reserve Bank Act, or the Federal Reserve Act, was enacted, and in that they allowed one institution to print out all of what we call money, currency. Now, when that took place, shortly thereafter, we started to use what was called gold and silver certificates. And what they were to represent was a receipt for anyone who had gold and silver. Now, gold and silver has always been money, especially gold. It's always been the representative of a person's wealth. As a matter of fact, when you think about it, you think about the old time movies back in the day. Whenever they had the ships out on the ocean, the bandits, the pirates used to always jump the ships for what? The gold. Same way when you was riding a horse and buggy, which was the way transportation was back then. Anytime the bandits jumped out, they always jumped out to steal your gold and your precious metals. Well, because of that insecurity of being, traveling with money, which was gold and silver then, they came up with the idea to say, hey, let's put together what's called a gold and silver certificate. And I happen to have one right here. This is an actual silver certificate. So if you notice at the top, it says silver certificate. And what it says at the bottom, if you notice, it says payable to the bearer on demand, $1 in silver. Now they had these in gold and they had them in silver. And this was a receipt for you to take to the Treasury Department, and the Treasury Department would give you in return $1 worth of silver, $1 worth of gold, or whatever it was that you had the receipt for. Now, as time progressed, they changed the wording on these from silver certificate to what we carry in our pockets now, which is a Federal Reserve note. A note meaning like a promissory note, meaning I could write on a piece of paper, because most people would understand that based on our Constitution, certificates were law-abiding documents. And so when they said John Hancock and you used to sign your signature, that's where these notes came from. It was a abiding instrument to say that you could go into a financial institution and you could be exchanged gold or silver based on the note. Well, if we fast forward just a little bit, coming to around 1971, President Nixon then removed the standard of gold that backed this paper and gave it what had value. He took it away. And as of 1971, the United States has never operated on that standard anymore. And so now it gives them the leverage to just print and print and print and print the paper. And they have us nowadays chasing the paper, and we don't realize that the inflation of printing this paper is now capitalizing and capturing up with us. And that's why the United States is in over $26 trillion in debt. And they utilize us as the taxpayers of this, or citizens of this government, to pay back the tax on that debt. And that's generally why most individuals paying close to 35 and 40% of your income back in taxes. Now, I'd like to ask you the question. If you didn't incur the debt, why would you be responsible for paying it back? You got to ask yourself that this day. See, now we're taking the veil off of this trick, and the jig is up. Information is out here now that shows us and tells us that now there's a different time and there's different things that need to be done. And I want to go into that conversation a little further in just a few moments. But, just understanding that now we have to understand where the real money is. And the real money, your sweat equity, is based on gold. You want to get your hands on 24 karat gold. Well, I'm sure one or two of you probably are thinking, well, how do I do that? And why would I do that? Well, gold stores its value. It's actually been classified as a tier 1 asset. Go look it up. It holds its value because if you look at it, back around 1971, when this transition took place, an ounce of gold was right at about $35 per ounce. But if you do your research and your due diligence, you'll find that now today in 2020, that same ounce of gold is worth close to $1,800 an ounce. So your stored sweat equity. See, a lot of people are looking at prices that are going up, but it's not breaking up. It's not about the prices. I'm gonna try to talk through the breakup. I'm gonna try to the technology sometimes is trying to, so bear with us. If I need to repeat it, I'll circle back and repeat it. But it's not that the prices are going up, it's the value of the dollar that's going down. And you have to ask yourself, if you think back 10 years ago, were you paying more or less for a gallon of gas? Were you paying more or less for a gallon of milk? And then when you come up with that answer, you got to ask yourself the question, do you think you're going to be paying more or less in the next 5, 10, 20 years? So if we all conclusively come to the realization that we're going to be paying more, my question to you is, what are you going to do for your sweat equity? What are you going to do to make sure that what you're paying and what you're working for on a day-to-day basis is going to have the same or similar value come 5, 10, 15 years from now? You got to ask yourself that question. And so hopefully the stream is not breaking up. I'm still going to continue to talk until my brother jumps in. But it's just a matter of understanding that you have to have something that is going to hold its value. And as long as we continue to pour into this economy that's backed by the dollar, the strength of that dollar is going to continue to weaken. We have the actual facts of that from other economies that have had that same type of collapse. One that is live right now is Venezuela. Venezuela right now is living in that absolute collapse. Well, the economy over in Germany did the same thing some years ago. And there was a time when 5 grams of gold, this right here, which is 5 grams of 24 karat 999 fine gold, could buy you a house in Germany. 5 grams of gold. And after which, in that time frame, gold was what restabilized the economy in Germany. So sometimes you got to study history and you got to learn the lessons of that history in order for you to not be doomed to repeat those lessons. So that's what we're here to talk about tonight, you guys. You know, the reinstitution of how money is now transitioning. And I want you to think of it like this. Over the last several years, 50 to 100 years, everything as we know it has had a change to it. Music has had a change. Food has had a change. Clothing has had a change. Homes, the way that they're built, has had a change. Everything around our existence has had an eventual change. Everything except for the money. We've been operating in this system over 100 years. And now that change has come. If you guys remember back in the time when music was around and we had what was called cassette tapes, some of us on this audience might remember 8-track tapes and how those things evolved from cassettes to CDs to now MP3s to now digital streaming. Remember when we used to talk on the telephone and it was connected to the wall with a cord? And now we use cellular phones and we now use smartphone technology. And those smartphones now that we have in the palm of our hands give us access to the internet, real-time order. Right now we call them smartphones, even though they make us dumb. But that technology has evolved. And so now we have to look into what is considered the financial instruments or this financial institution and how this money is going to evolve. And everybody is getting into a wave that's going digital. Think about back in the day when we used to write checks. Nobody asked you, did you want to stop writing checks for check cards or utilizing your check card? No, they just created an atmosphere of fear that made you think that when you wrote a check or whatever happened, or even with your bank card, that it was not secure enough. So now the banking institutions have things like Cash App or Zelle, whatever they call it, where you can digitally move your money at the click of a dime. Well, now technology has evolved to one of the most safest ways to move your money, and that's the blockchain. Cryptocurrency is now the wave of that next change. And if you don't know about it, you might want to do some due diligence to find out. Bitcoin right now is the grandfather to that movement of money. But there's some new things that are coming down the pike, i.e. with the company that I represent now, where there's the first of its kind in the world official gold-backed cryptocurrency. And that'll give us the opportunity to be able to move and transact business all around the world, utilizing the world's number one tier asset, and that's 24 karat gold. So I want to really just share with you that being able to acquire gold in small increments is now the order of the day, because not everybody has $1,800 just sitting to be able to go get an ounce of gold. So this company that I represent allows us to be able to get the gold in small transaction-friendly increments: 1 gram, 2.5 gram, and 5 gram increments. And so when you stack the gold, now you become the bank. The economy is now within your own home. So now you can save gold yourself, which is the number one thing that you want to do. You don't want to save your money in the banking institutions. Do your research and figure out how much interest that you're getting on your savings account. I'll help you a little bit. The national average right now is 0.6%. So that means that if you had $100 in your banking account, after a year, they're going to give you about 6 pennies in interest. But last year alone, gold went up by 19%. Would you rather have your, 6 pennies or $19? You got to ask yourself the question. See, it's not emotional. It's just math, and it's just being able to know the real movement of that money. Now, in addition to that, this company that I represent has also instituted this new beautiful cash gold, which gives us the opportunity to devisitize the 1 gram, 2.5 gram, and 5 gram increments into 1/10 of a gram of 24 karat gold. So if you haven't heard about this information, I suggest that you get back with the person who shared this information with you immediately and ask them how can you get you a gold savings account with this company right away. We are looking for some real educated entrepreneurs to help us to develop some other people to a millionaire and a billionaire mindset. That's what the movement is about right now. Back to you, B.
Oh man, that was wonderful, brother. That was wonderful. I'm really glad and excited, to have you on here tonight. We were breaking this stuff down, and you pretty much, close it out home, on the solution, because, this is exactly what we're going to be headed into. We headed going to like the golden age. We headed back to like having gold. So that is the real currency. And I'm really glad, it's definitely been an honor and a privilege to have you on here, and just, bring forth this solution to people, because, many people talk all the time about, the problems and stuff like that. But, I feel I really feel as though that you showing this in this right here, something that I'm a part of and being a part of the team. I think it's a great thing, for people, to, really take time and look into it and really invest into it, and just seeing the vision of it.
Absolutely. I'm noticing that some of the individuals in the chat, they're talking about silver and they're talking about platinum. Yes, those things are absolutely awesome too. You want to get into precious metals, but understand that right now in present, it takes 100 times the amount of silver in order to equal to what gold is. And so financial institutions are holding or being able to hold gold. You want to have what's actually used in the market for money. Now, I'm not saying don't get any of it. I'm not saying don't get diamonds. I'm not saying don't get, I'm not even saying don't get land and real estate and all of those different things. But just like when I'm on the radio or I'm traveling around the world, I always get that person that calls in talking about we need to get land and real estate and things to that effect. But I'm still waiting for them to contact me to let me know where you can find $100 piece of land. And see, most people don't realize that even when you purchase property, you still got to pay taxes. You still got to pay insurance. You still got to pay maintenance. There's an outgo of your flow of money before there's an flux of money. You can buy gold today one time, no taxes and no fees. Sit on that gold and let that gold appreciate over time. So sometimes we just got to really be educated on how we move with the the proper operations in the money. I had to be educated because maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I'm on stream saying that I thought that cryptocurrency was a distraction. That's because I was uneducated to its actual movement. Now that I have done my due diligence and have operated in the crypto space, I have absolutely changed that understanding because information came to me. Do your real due diligence and don't allow someone to give you their opinion, because if you accept their opinion, you will also adopt their lifestyle. Do your own research and your own due diligence. Go and search it for yourself and find out. Compare with the information. And also trust the resources sometimes that bring it to you. So it's very, very important being able to get gold in your possession. Oh, and I'm not talking about gold coins. I'm not talking about gold coins. I'm talking about actual minted gold bars. There's a big difference. See, the government, when they mint coins, they can also confiscate them. Do your research. Back to you, bro. Okay, no problem. You might be muted, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear now.
All right, okay, wonderful. Yes, family. So we are really glad and excited that y'all came across this kind of information. And to those of y'all who are really serious about doing this and becoming part of the team, get educated, like how Kevin 2X Thompson told me, you're going to be earning while you're learning. So guess what? I am going to be learning things. And like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to being a part of something great like this, because this is pretty much what we're going to be headed into, dealing with the golden age, man. And I felt like, we're going to be talking about things like this. Why not bring a solution to people and something that's, that can be very beneficial. So I'm going to leave my link inside of the chat. B4T going to leave his link inside of the chat, as well as Kevin 2X Thompson, and also Shelby as well, correct?
Actually, what we're planning on doing, if there's anyone that's on this chat or on this stream or that hears this stream and this information piques your interest and you would like to see yourself involved with what we're doing, or you would just like to get some more information, what we would like for you to do is to reply to the stream and say that you want to get some more information. And what we're setting up is a live call that's going to take place probably Friday. And on Friday, it's going to be an opportunity for you to register to a webinar. This is only going to be by invite only. And when you come into that, we will show you step by step exactly how to register you in a gold savings account and how you can partner with this company and be able to make some serious income with that as well. So respond into the chat, comment in the chat that you want to know more information, and we'll leave you a link by which you can register to a live webinar that we're going to do, and we're going to post some more information.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now, bro.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. We're seeing a lot of people that want more information. So to everybody that want more information, y'all can definitely send me an email at brandonmouse410@yahoo.com. To all of the people that really want more information, you can send that to my email. You can drop a message in my email address about having more about this information. I definitely see a lot of people in the chat. That's pretty good. That's wonderful. And also, you said drop the links in the chat as well.
What we're going to do is we're going to drop the link to that webinar. and that link is
Okay, so drop the link.
Yeah, it's going to allow people to register for that webinar so that we can have a question and answer session and talk a little bit more. And those individuals that are serious about wanting to be involved with what we're doing will register them so that they can have their own accounts.
Yep, exactly. Yep, and also B Forte. Don't forget about his email as well. Shay will put up his email in the chat as well right here. And let me see. Yes, Shay, you can put up B Forte's email address, and I'm in the chat as well. So to those of y'all who want more information about this right here that are very serious, you can email me and also B Forte as well. And Kevin, you said like the link, you said it's going to be for the webinar that's coming Friday, correct?
Correct. So let me repeat. Basically, what we're gonna do is, if you're interested, or basically this information that I've shared with you today has piqued your interest, and number one, you see yourself or see an opportunity for yourself. Number two, you may have some questions, and that's fine. We encourage the questions. We want you to put a comment to this video that you want more information. And what we'll do is we'll send back to you a registration for a link that you can come join us on Friday and get your questions answered. And for those that are interested, you can register with us so that we can take you to the next step. What do I need to do? Are you hearing me okay, B? No.
I can hear you. It's like, yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. It just sounds real choppy. We do apologize for that. Can you hear me, Kevin?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Bear with us, you guys. You know, the interferes of magic. They busy at work, you know, so just bear with us as we try to get this information out. Clearly, you know, this is some valuable information, and it's, you know, it's for the it's not for the faint at heart. So if you can just bear with us a little bit as we work through the technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure out the best way to be able to let everybody know how they can get this information. I just want you to reply, because I believe, you know, Brand, I think you're able to get the email addresses to the individuals that are replying, your people that are looking for the information. Yes? Am I still echoing? You guys put a N in the chat if you if I'm still echoing, or if you can hear me loud and clear. Just give me a Y in the chat so that I'll know that we sound pretty good now. We good, B? Is it still echoing?
I can hear you, but it's breaking up.
Still breaking up? Okay.
It's the storm.
Yeah, it's the storm that's going on. It's just making it real choppy right now.
Right. So we're going to take our time. We're going to take our time and make sure that everybody is able to get this information. We wanted to come to you guys tonight. You know what I mean? This, you know, I got all evening, B. You know what I'm saying? I really want some folks to get ready to give me some questions in the chat so I can answer just a few of the questions. But I promise you, I'm gonna probably answer all your questions come Friday when we put this information together on the live webinar. But we want to position folks so that they could get ready right away and learn exactly what we got going on, man. It's been a life-changing experience for me and my family, being able to amass gold, you know, being able to stack it and save it now, you know. This company has allowed us to be able to get, you know, more of a savings than I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, just being able to have gold as an asset, and these are, you know, gram bars of gold that I can actually You know, if I needed to liquidate, I can liquidate them. You know what I mean? I also have our product, which is, like I said, the cash gold. You know, we getting our weight up. You know what I mean? And you definitely want to be able to, you know, get your weight up, because that's where your real money is. We don't count it no more. We weigh it. You know what I mean? That's actually a tenth of a gram of gold as well. You know, so it's all about being able to get gold right now, family. It's just and cryptocurrency, but the right cryptocurrency, if you understand what I mean by that. So, you know, put a comment if you want some more information. We're putting the information in the chat on where you can register your link. I mean, register to the link for a live webinar that we're gonna do, where we're gonna give folks more information. It's going to be phenomenal, family, because we're actually on a whole nother road to financial freedom. See, once you can get money out of the way as the issue, then pretty much everything else can be solved. Think about it. You know, most all problems that people are having is associated with a dollar value attached to it. You know, they say that money don't buy happiness, but I believe that it could put a hell of a down payment on it. So get back with us so we can get money out of the way as an issue in your life. You know what I mean? And we can start with just the saving and the acquisition of getting 24 karat gold. Yes, the registration to this link is going to be free.
I am posting up the link right about now.
Let's see if I can.
All right, cool. There it is.
Let's see. Yes, the registration is going to be free. It's going to be a free webinar. But please, family, only for the real interested. You know what I mean? You know, for those that's curious, this may not be the platform for you. But if you're serious, I can promise you, you're going to get the information that you need to know. Just going back through the chat to see if there's any other questions that I can answer. Let's see. Do you see any questions in your chat, brother?
Somebody says their registration fee. No, it is not. Did the information cost?
I'm gonna say that the lack of the information will cost. I see somebody in the chat said, "What can you buy with gold grams?" Well, see, I'm gonna answer that question like this. When you drive down the street on a day-to-day basis, every 5 or 6 blocks that you go in most cities that you're in, there's a place that says "We buy gold." And you got to ask yourself the question, why is it that they want to buy your gold? What is it that they know about your necklaces and your jewelry and your rings and all of that they want to buy the gold from you? And see, there's a difference between your carat weight in gold, 14 karat, 18 karat, 24 karat is money. And when you melt those other carats weights down, it has that gold has alloy or metals added to it to make it strong. But when you melt it all the way pure down and get the alloys out, it goes back to its pure content, which is 24 karat. So when you ask the question, what can you buy with gold, grams or gold? Everything, because gold is money. See, gold can be used as collateral and leverage. You don't even have to spend or liquidate gold if you understand. You can utilize it as leverage. The same way you can go and use your clear car title and you can get a title loan. See, think about it like this. When you have a home, you have a mortgage, but people that own their home, they have a deed. There's a difference. And if you wanted to leverage your home, you can refinance it and get a loan against the home. You don't sell the home, you refinance it, and then you pay yourself back. Gold is the same way. It's an asset that you can leverage. You want to hold on to it and hold it forever, generational. Leave it to your children and your children's children, but then you can loan or lend yourself against the value of gold. And we'll teach and talk to you about that in another time. But right now, we're trying to plug you into a way to get it first. You want to save in something that's going to add value. What we're trying to share with you is that if you got money under your pillow, if you got money under your bed in a shoebox, if you got money in financial institutions, i.e., Bank of America, Wells Fargo, any of these banking institutions, you're losing. It's like having a bucket with a hole in it because you never get to outrun inflation on what is not paying you more value to what we're losing the value in. So this is an educational, this we trying to educate you and bring you up to the speed on what's really happening right now. Of course, people can go out and they could take this and they could buy some bubble gum with it, and you can get you some eggs and some milk and all that. So you think that this has value. That's the trick. The central banks are holding on to gold, and they're utilizing gold as the way to leverage the securities that they loan you money. So let's get the information. Let's get it popping, you guys. Let's get it, you know what I'm saying, and be able to re-educate ourselves to understanding what real assets and what real money is about.
Wonderful. Anything else you want to add on, Kevin?
I'm just looking in your chats and just trying to, answer some of the questions. I see somebody said that, never do a reverse mortgage. Well, the thing is, when you know and you understand what that type of instrument is for, it could be beneficial to you. But yes, reverse mortgages are not really designed to assist you. It's designed to assist the bank so that they have a second chance to get your house back. See, they give you the loan or give you the mortgage in the first place in anticipation of you defaulting on that loan. But if you know how to leverage your assets, if you know what you're doing, then that becomes an ability for you to leverage yourself. You become the bank. Do your due diligence.
All right. Any more questions that need to be answered?
Somebody just put in the chat 10 karat, 14 karat, and 24 karat are all the same. If that's a question that you're asking, the answer is no. If that's a statement that you're making, I'd have to say you're incorrect, because 10 karat, 14 karat, and 24 karat are all three different. They different karat weights. And basically the karat weight difference is how much alloy or metal that they add in. How much cut did they put on it, basically. And the more or the lower that weight is, the more metal that's in it. 24 karat 999.9 is the purest of gold. Do your research, family. All right. So somebody asked about copper. Well, you got to ask yourself the question, okay, there's a cost or value to copper. See, gold is one of the best conductors of electricity, and it has multiple uses, but at the same time, it's very difficult to extract. You don't just find it anywhere. You can find copper a lot of different places in metal, in stone, and so forth. So just what it takes to extract copper is different from what it takes to extract gold. The same way there's a difficulty in finding diamonds. So there's a cost factor attached to it. And when you understand that, that's where the value that's associated with refining it comes from. But gold is the only thing that has been utilized as money. You can barter with other precious metals and use them for other things based on the usages or what have you. But now we got phones, computers, and all these different things that have gold in those pieces, which makes it that much more useful, and the value is steadily increased. So do your research, family.
Any more questions? Any more questions?
The highest carat weight of gold is 24 karat. That's the purest. Wow. Your audience is asking some super good questions, bro. I mean, I love that because it shows that, you know, folks are absolutely curious to the process and want to be enlightened to the, you know, the education of what's happening, you know. But I can promise you, family, if you guys, you know, follow B's lead and get this information, it could change your life. This is one of those things that really, you know, turn things around financially for me and my family. The moment that I found out that saving gold as an asset was the way to go.
Can y'all hear me now? I'm back on.
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
Okay. And anything else you'd like to add, Kevin?
Let's see. I'm just looking at some of the questions in the chat. Somebody says, is the gold sent through the mail or is it stored somewhere? Yes and yes. The company that we've partnered with allows you to save and store your gold in the vaults overseas, as well as at a click of a button, because you have your own access to your account. You can have that gold shipped to you via FedEx with a signature. That's the way that I was able to receive all the gold that I have, that I amass and that I put in my savings. I want my money next to me, not in no financial institution. You guys are asking some amazing questions. These most of these questions will be asked on our webinar. Definitely register if you're interested and you want to get your a free gold savings account. And yes, I did say free. You know, register for the webinar that we're going to have, and all the details will be in the email, when, where, you know, how you get on the link. Everything will be there. But comment in the chat and let us know that you're interested, and that way we can reach out to you and send you the link so that you can register, so that we can get your questions answered. A lot of your questions will be answered on the webinar.
It keeps on knocking me out. Apologize.
No worries, bro.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, bro. Loud and clear. Okay. All right. So with that being said, B, I'd like to pass the plate back to you. Your family is asking a lot of good questions. I'd like to see a whole lot of you guys on the webinar. We're going to answer your questions and we're going to get you ready. And we're going to show you the blueprint. We got the ideas of us being able to be the leveragers, the investors. You know, once we leverage the gold as an asset and we amass it as a team, we become the bank. We can reestablish, the strength of our economy and our community by holding on to the gold. So please come get with us, get with the conversation, and see what this next new movement is going to manifest.
Cool, great, wonderful. I'm back on. So like I said, fam, For those of y'all that are interested, send me drop something to my email, and I will send the post over there for the Zoom on Friday. To those of y'all who are really, really interested in like really seeing this on the Zoom, I'm telling you, man, like you do not want to miss this information. You do not want to miss it. This is a part of what we've been talking about. So we definitely looking for people that are going to be serious, that are going to be serious, and you know what I mean, that's ready to go. That's all about building, and you don't want to miss this one. You do not want to miss this train that we on. This is the golden age. So like I said, y'all can email me and I will send you the link. I apologize for that. They keep knocking me off, like I said. So, like I said, though, family, it has been like another great live stream tonight. Wait to Kevin. It's been another great live stream tonight, and I definitely will say that it's been honored and I'm privileged to have you on, Mr. Kevin 2X, man. I'm glad we up here, you know, correlating, you know, this information, you know, bringing what's been happening, what's going on, and bringing about the solution. So like I said, Friday night we're going to do this around the same time, like around this time, 8:30, 8:40, around the same time, Kevin, right?
Yes, it's going to be an actual webinar that we're going to do though, and it's only going to be by invitation only. You know, the only way that you're going to be able to get in on this stream is by the invite of this webinar. So you got to register to be able to be a part of this information where you can get your questions and stuff answered. So listen, we want you to have a pen. We want you to have a pad. We want you to write down, and hopefully between now and then you go do some due diligence and get you some questions and be able to bring them to the table, you know, and then that way you can get your questions and your skepticism out of the way. Because I already understand that, you know, it's going to be a small percentage of you guys who are going to be skeptical, you know, but skepticism will keep you broke. I can promise you that, you know, but go do your research and do your due diligence and come through. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to lay the information out. Now, one thing I will promise you, this is not going to be the platform for me or any of my partners to try to convince you against your will. That's not what we do. If you want to stay broke or you want to stay on that other side of the fence, then fine. Keep on putting your money in Wells Fargo and letting them charge you the interest to get it done. That's fine. We want the individuals who want the information. So please don't waste our time coming onto the chat and coming into this, you know, trying to be negative Nancy. We don't need that. We need individuals who are humble to say, listen, I know that I've been overworked and underpaid. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And now I'm ready for a real change. Because one thing I can that I could prove to you as a fact, if you knew what to do to get it done, you'd have already got it done. Facts. So sometimes we got to humble ourselves to more information to let that information be able to come in and, you know, and enlighten us. And then, you know, we can move forward and do some things. So this platform that we're going to lay out for you guys is going to be fantastic. We're going to have some individuals that'll be a part of that webinar that'll be able to give us this information. Man, you guys, it's going to be amazing. So comment that you're interested, register the link. You know, the link is strobing through the chat. Snatch that link and get registered so that you could be a part of this next wave of the future, you guys.
Yep, make sure you register for that, because I definitely will be there Friday on the webinar with y'all. Like I said, this is definitely something great, and I definitely want to say like thank you for having. I definitely want to say thank you for your time, you know, for coming up on the platform, Mr. Kevin, and we're going to close it out from right there. So get ready Friday. Definitely get ready Friday. Then I definitely will say like to everybody on here, you know, that's serious. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. And everybody, peace, love, and lights. And y'all have a good night. One love once again.
Before you go, I like to leave one last thought on everybody's mind. Don't be led by your fears, family. Be driven by your beliefs and your dreams. Live full and die empty. We'll see you on the webinar.
That's it, Kevin. Peace out, fam.